Hi folks, this is Steve, the Cardboard Cultist, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at Warhammer Underworlds Shadespire. And this is an arena combat game from Games Workshop. So in Shadespire, you're going to take control of a warband and try to gain more glory than your opponent. And you're going to do this by taking out your opponent and completing objectives. Along with your warband, you're going to have power cards and objective cards. And these cards are going to help define your playstyle. So let's take a look at some of the card types and what they're all about. So first up, we've got the fighter cards, and these give us specific information about the miniatures in our warband. First up, we have an image of the miniature reminding us which character this is on the game board, followed by his name, Garrett Gorebeard, and that little crown just tells us that he's the leader of this warband. Next up, we've got all his attack information, and this tells us the range of his attack, what dice we need to roll, and how much damage his attack does. Next up, we've got the character's Inspire condition, and if this is met during the game, we can flip this card for improved statistics. And then down towards the bottom of the card, we've got the character's movement value, his defense characteristics, and his health. And the icon over on the right of the card just tells us which warband Garrett belongs to. So the next card type to look at is the objective cards. And these are the cards that are going to help us gain glory and ultimately win the game. And these cards will give us a condition that we need to meet, followed by a glory point reward. And we'll be trying to complete as many of these as possible throughout the game. And finally, let's look at the power cards. And these are the cards that are going to swing the tide of battle, giving us both upgrade cards for our characters and one-off abilities to turn combat in our favour. So gameplay in Shadespire takes place over 3 rounds, and each round you're going to get 4 activations. And you'll use these activations to move your fighters around the board and attack your enemy, all the time trying to complete objectives and gain glory. And it's this focus on gaining glory that makes Shadespire a really interesting, strategic and tactical game. All-out aggression is not always going to be a winning strategy in Shadespire. So much of the game is dictated by the objective cards, so it's quite possible that your warband may need to take a defensive posture in order to get their objectives complete. You may have noticed the 6 objective tiles that we laid out at the beginning of the game. Certain objective cards will require you to hold specific tiles, so if you want to complete that objective and gain the glory, you're going to need to hold that position. Now that doesn't mean that games won't turn into a bloodbath, it just means there are plenty of opportunities to flex your tactical muscle. And what's more, Shadespire is a game of deck construction. In this game you're watching here, we're just using the pre-built decks for each warband that the game advises. But there's a whole heap of extra cards in the game box that are going to help you tailor your warband to your specific playstyle. And for anyone that enjoys deck construction, this is a really exciting prospect. As more warbands get released, you're going to have more options for your decks. And this is going to help to improve an already solid game as more and more content becomes available. Overall, Shadespire is a really nice and really compact miniatures game. Gameplay is both fast and accessible, and games can be wrapped up inside 30 or 40 minutes without a problem. If you're a fan of Fantasy Flight's X-Wing, or you're looking for a miniatures game but don't want to commit too much, then this is one you should certainly check out. The miniatures look absolutely gorgeous, but they're also push fit. So again, if you're not a keen hobbyist, you're not going to have to spend your evenings cutting and painting these models. You'll have these miniatures assembled in no time, and since the warbands are different colours, you don't have to paint them. And that's just another thing that makes Shadespire so accessible. Games Workshop have done a great job with Shadespire, and I highly recommend you check it out. But until next time, as always, take care and thanks for watching.